the newest green innovations, research the behavioral patterns of animals, and examine how the arts are being studied today. You'll find it all on the Academic Minute.
Listen every weekday afternoon during the KSJE Evening News at 5:30. KSJE is supported by San Juan Regional Medical Center, which is officially baby-friendly. This evidence-based initiative is designed to support mother-baby bonding and optimal infant feeding practices by upholding the 10 steps to successful breastfeeding. San Juan Regional Medical Center, officially baby-friendly, and serving the Four Corners since 1910. Find out more online at sanjuanregional.com. Ten minutes past 8 o'clock. It's Tuesday morning, December 2nd, 3rd, I should say. Pardon me, it's December 3rd. Good morning, everyone. I'm Scott Micklin. Thanks for tuning in to KSJE 90.9 FM over the air in San Juan County, 103.3 FM over the air now in Durango, Colorado. And, of course, you can listen everywhere from our website at ksje.com. Special good morning also to our viewers who are watching the program live on the KSJE stream, on our Facebook page, and our YouTube channel. We're glad you're with us as well this morning. Coming up in just a moment, my guest from C.H.I.C, the Community Health Improvement Council. Amanda Evans is here from the San Juan County Partnership, who works with C.H.I.C and also one of the C.H.I.C members from the Well here in Farmington. Ron Pryor will be talking with me as well about the services that they provide to the community. That's coming up in the next few moments right here on KSJE, so we hope you will stay tuned for that. Later on this hour, we'll check in with the Farmington Regional Animal Shelter around 8:50 a.m. Our Adopt a Pet Tuesday segment. Amber Francisco will be joining me. We'll be showing you some of the pets available for adoption this week at the shelter, so stay tuned for that coming up later on this hour. And then Mick Hess will be along, Roving with the Arts. It's our classical music program after the news at 9 a.m. Mick is playing more cantatas from Bach, as well as sharing some arts news with us. There's, of course, lots of craft fairs and other holiday events coming up. He'll let you know about all that coming up this morning at 9:06 on KSJE. We invite you to, of course, connect with us on social media. You know about our Facebook page and our YouTube channel, but did you also know you can follow KSJE on Twitter and connect with us on Instagram as well? We hope you'll do that too. Here's the weather forecast. We are calling it partly sunny today with a high of 46 degrees in Farmington, partly cloudy tonight with a low of 28 degrees, and then a chance of scattered showers and maybe some snow flurries tomorrow and Thursday. Highs each day in the mid-40s and overnight lows about 37 tomorrow night, 29 on Thursday night before we get back to a partly cloudy day on Friday with a high of 47 degrees. And of course, we always say that visual radio can take you places, and this morning it can take you to places like Boston, Massachusetts, where it is currently snowing in Boston. It's 37 degrees. That's their high for the day. They are under a winter storm warning until 1 o'clock this afternoon in the Boston area. 37 degrees right now, and the overnight low tonight is forecast to get down to 27, and they're expecting several inches of snow out of this winter storm, which, of course, has been traveling across the country. But that's the picture just a few moments ago in Boston, Massachusetts. Well, let me turn to my guests who are here with me this morning to talk a little bit about the Well and C.H.I.C, the Community Health Improvement Council. As I mentioned, Amanda Evans is here from the San Juan County Partnership and C.H.I.C. Good morning.
Good morning.
Thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me.
Good to have you back. Also, Ron Pryor is here from the Well. Ron, welcome to you.
Good morning, Scott.
Good to have you here as well to talk a little bit about the Well and all that it does for the community. And I know there's a lot to talk about, so we'll do that in just a moment. But Amanda, let me turn to you a little bit and talk about C.H.I.C, the Community Health Improvement Council, and remind us again, this is a group of organizations that come together under the auspices of the San Juan County Partnership, because that's where you work for, to talk a little bit about how to make our community better, right?
Yes. The Community Health Improvement Council meets monthly, and we're a group of organizations, individuals, community members that all come together to really want to work on health in the broadest sense and make a difference in the community.
And health can mean a lot of different things, as we've talked about before, I know, right?
Yes. What we look at is health on all levels. A lot of people think, am I going to the doctor or the dentist? But health is, do you have transportation to those places? Do you have healthy food access? Do veterans have the services they need? All these different aspects contribute to whether we have a healthy community or not.
Very true, very true. And you've got a new logo, as we've been showing people this morning. That's relatively
Yes.
new, right?
Yes. So our old logo had been around for, I think we figured like 10 plus years. So we're kind of working on some new marketing stuff and really kind of not reinventing the mission of the CHIC. That's going to stay the same, but just kind of giving a new updated look. And Greg Allen from San Juan Safe Communities created this logo and did a great job on it.
He's so creative, isn't
He is.
he? Right?
He does a great job.
Nice job. And again, these CHICs are around everywhere, right? It's not just San Juan County that has a health
Yes.
improvement council.
Yes. So because New Mexico is kind of a unique state because we don't have public health offices in every county, we have health councils in almost every county. And so there's, I think, 39 plus some tribal ones throughout the state. We work together as there's actually a New Mexico Alliance of Health Councils that that kind of come together and meet on topics statewide, but then each health council is focused on their county.
And you meet once a month.
Yes, the third Thursday of each month at 3 p.m.
Okay. And so those meetings are open to other folks? If
Anyone,
other
yep.
community
The
organizations
public.
want to join
Yep.
CHIC, they could maybe call you up and ask?
Of course, yes. And
Okay.
we have a new Facebook page. Well, not new, but we're really refocused on it. So we don't have a lot on it yet, but it's at San Juan CHIC if they want to look it up.
Okay, on Facebook.
Yes.
You can check it out, everybody. So great. Well, again, welcome. Great to have you here. And of course, our partnership with CHIC goes back. We were trying to figure out how long it goes,
Yeah.
but we've been trying to focus on CHIC once a month, which has been great about bringing in different members of CHIC and talking about different areas that CHIC is working on and looking into in our community. And so we're glad to be able to keep partnering with you with that in the coming year. So
Yes.
that's
Yeah.
wonderful. But let me turn to Ron Pryor, who is here from The Well. And again, Ron, welcome back. You are the president of the Board of Trustees for The Well.
Correct.
And but not for very much longer. You're not really counting the days, but you knew exactly when your term was going to be up.
My term expires at the end of this year, yes.
Right. And then you'll become treasurer
Yes.
of the board. So talk to us a little bit about The Well. I think a lot of folks may have heard about The Well, but maybe not as familiar as what The Well does and provides to the community, because it really is an important service, I think, for folks who are in recovery and their families.
I believe it's a real integral part of Farmington.
Right.
I got involved down there in 2002 when I moved here and been there ever since. Pardon me. And what we do is we provide space for a lot of the 12-step programs here in town, and we give people a safe and clean environment to come down and hang out when they're in early recovery, and they can speak with members that have been there a long time. And basically, we just help each other
Right.
to get a restart in life.
You're over on Animas Street, West Animas Street,
Yes,
right?
we're at 309 West Animas, directly across from the Salvation Army thrift store.
Okay. And I would think it has to be a great way for people that are in recovery to maybe get around other people who are also in recovery, as you said, to hang out. But sometimes I would think if they're hanging out with maybe their other friends who aren't in recovery, that can be a problem. And so they need to maybe find new people to hang out with.
Right, and that's what we're there for. We provide space for some of the 12-step programs in town, but
Right.
we like Thanksgiving dinners we have down there, Christmas we do something, so we have pool tables and such.
Recreation, things like that folks
Right.
can do different activities and things, and also have space for the meetings, I guess, is what
Right,
I'm
and then
saying.
we have a coffee bar out front where you can just sit and talk, have a small library,
Right.
so
And you've been involved with The Well now for how long? We're talking before we
17 years.
came on the air this morning. 17 years. And so not all those on the board, but sometimes on the board?
Pretty much all those.
All of them?
on the
Okay.
board, yeah.
Well, once they get a good
Yeah.
board member, they don't let you go. We talked
Yeah.
about that too.
Yes.
Right.
Sure,
But
that's what it is.
that's it. Exactly. Exactly. But with some of the things that you do, and of course the funding for The Well comes from lots of different sources then?
Well, the rooms we provide for the 12-step programs are on a rent basis.
I see. Right.
So they pay, I would consider a small fee for the room rentals.
Right.
Per meeting hour. We also have some other folks that come in and rent rooms. And basically, we have a membership also.
Okay.
So that, private donations, I really don't want to give out names on who donates
No, sure.
privately. I think they want to remain
Right.
anonymous.
But that's how you are able to keep the doors open and provide
Yes.
these services.
Yes, and
So-
God sees fit to keep us open.
That's important. So
Yes.
very, very good. And are there some things that you don't provide that you'd like to provide if you had the funding or if you were able to do a little bit more?
Well, there's a surprise question.
A wish list?
You know, I
put you on the spot. Sorry about that.
no, that's okay. I really can't think of anything off the top of my head.
That's all right.
Yeah,
I'll have you
give
think
that
about it for
some
a minute.
thought,
That's
yeah.
okay. That's all right. Let me go back to Amanda for a moment
Okay.
and talk a little bit about how important services like this are in the community, Amanda Evans, to have a place for folks in recovery to go and talk to me a little bit about CHIC's involvement with that. I mean, that's got to be an important thing for folks in recovery to have a place that they can go and gather and have these access to these programs, these 12-step programs.
Yeah, it's essential. I mean, again, a healthy community, is so many different aspects. It's getting the person treatment, but then it's how do you help them after they're through that or as they're going through that or all those different steps. And so this is such an essential service. That's why we really we call this time that the monthly spot we have the Positive Wellness Campaign, because there's so much positive stuff going on in our community that people might not even be aware of. I didn't know all the services that the Well provided until they started coming to CHIC. And so it's great that they're in our community making this difference, and we want people to know so that either they can utilize the services or maybe they can help donate to it.
Right. That's very true. And let me go back to Ron a little bit. You mentioned memberships for your members, and that then gives them access to all the different things that the Well provides. Is that true?
Well, mostly what it does is give you a small discount on some of the concession items that we sell.
Okay.
But more to the point, it's being involved and it's kind of a donation to help keep the doors open.
Sure.
And members understand that when they buy a membership.
Right. And the price is, I think, pretty low, right? I mean, what are we
Yeah.
talking here?
Yeah, it's $10 a month for
Right.
general membership.
Okay.
And then if you'd like a coffee card, which is pretty much unlimited coffee to sit there and drink all month long, that's another $10. But you need to have the general membership before the coffee card.
Gotcha. But that gives you access to the coffee, all the coffee you want.
All the coffee and chatter.
And chatter. That's important too.
If you have enough coffee, then you can chatter.
I would think so. It goes hand in hand a little bit. So
Yes.
that's very true. And so that's important. And then of course these other 12-step programs that you mentioned that you rent out space for and allow people to come in and meet. And again, as we talk about healthy communities, these are really important things to be able to offer to the public, right? And you don't have to be a member of the Well to go to the 12-step program, right? That's going to be there.
Correct.
That's different.
You don't really even need to be a member of the Well to come down there and spend time.
Okay.
That's what we're for. For people in early recovery who don't. Basically, when we get into early recovery, all of our friends, in
Right.
quotation marks there, still use or still drink. So we need somewhere where we're not hanging out around that. And
Sure.
that's kind of what the Well provides.
Right. And it's been doing that for years, right? I mean,
Right.
17 that you've been involved with, but even before, I'm trying to think of when the Well was founded.
You know, we were just discussing that. Me and another longtime member were discussing that. And the best we can figure is we were created in the mid-'80s, somewhere around 87, 88. And ironically enough, if I've heard correctly, there was a mobile home provided on the grounds of the Budweiser distributorship.
Originally.
Originally,
Okay.
yeah,
All
I
right.
think that's where the Well was originally located. And I think we moved to the building we have now at 309 West Animas in 1991.
Okay. I don't remember it being anywhere else since I have been in town. That's been almost 30 years. So
Right.
I think it's been in that same location for a long time, which is probably good. A lot of folks know that's where they go. And
Right.
that's where you can find assistants and other folks to hang out with, as you mentioned.
Well, it's kind of really cool because because part of our purpose is to help addicts, alcoholics, and their families.
Right.
And I could name several instances where people have come in with their children, and then years later, their children know where to go if they ever have issues. So I've seen the generations come in now, and that's really interesting to me. And It's amazing.
It's a great service to have, right? Talk to me a little bit about the families and what they can do when they come to the well. Again, it's a place to support their family members who are in recovery, and what else?
Well, it's basically what we share is our experience, strength, and hope down there. So the longer term people in recovery can provide information on resources throughout. Farmington's a very giving town. I've learned that since I've been here.
Right.
So there's several programs to help people get a restart in life. So you can come down and mingle with the people at the well who have gone through this before. So they have their personal experience to share with other people that are just coming in the door. And that's really kind of key for us, I believe.
Sure. And I think is it important for folks who are in recovery to be able to talk to folks who have gone through it, to maybe who can relate and understand if they're having a little bit of a setback or having some temptations or some other issues that the person that's gone through it can say, yep, been there, understand what you're going through, and can maybe help them through those types of times?
Typically, when we're still using and we're still drinking, we have a tendency to go around things. And so sometimes the older members can teach people how to start going through things and experiencing things and understand better that there is another side to the darkness sometimes.
Right.
The depression and all that.
And help us understand then how going through that is better than going around it. I mean, I think I understand what you're saying, but be able to confront it head on and not avoid it and understand this is a normal thing.
Confront it, deal with it, learn how to deal with it in a better way than we did before, and not have a pile of stuff behind us all the time. We clean up our lives as we come along.
I see. And that can be very powerful, I think, for someone to learn how to do that.
Absolutely.
And to see other examples of folks who have done it and now are successful, contributing members of society and healthy and happy and really back with families and things like that, I would think, right? It all goes together, does it not?
Because when we first get here, we don't really have the feeling that there's a good future for us. We've lived different lives at the time. So for people to come in, there are a lot of people in recovery that own businesses now and employ people. So it's nice for the new guy to come in and say, hey, maybe this guy will hire me. And I have a small company. I hire pretty much strictly out of recovery. Okay. To give people a second, third, sometimes fourth chance.
Sure.
Because human beings are human beings. So we give them the experience, strength, and hope. Right. That it will be okay if they just keep getting up every day and putting their foot down and doing what they're supposed to be doing for the day.
Sure. And leading by example, it sounds like to me as well. And I imagine a lot of these folks maybe thought originally when they showed up at the well that they would never get through this. They would never own their own business, much less be able to hire other folks in recovery or other individuals in the community and give them another chance, as you mentioned, right?
Right. Well, on a personal level, when I got here in 2002 in April, I was 5 months clean. And I had nothing. I had $60 in my pocket, and I was starting fresh. And I was unemployed and unemployable. Okay, so now 18 years later, I get to own my own small business. I've been in business myself for 9 years. I had a business partner for the first 3 years, so that's 12 total. And I never imagined in my life being able to do that.
Right. So you yourself are a great success story.
I don't know about great, but...
Well, I think so from what you've been telling us this morning.
Right.
And that should be celebrated, I think, too. And again, there's a lot of other folks, I'm sure, that can call upon their time at the well with a similar story, right, of getting them on that path.
There's a lot. I joke around that we're like spies because we're everywhere in town, and sometimes on the face of it, if you're not involved in the recovery community, you have no idea.
Right.
But I myself, I don't keep it very private. So I get a lot of customers and asking me about it. I have a family member that, can you give me some advice or tell me where they go or something like that.
Sure. Well, and this is one of those things. Addiction is one of those things that does not discriminate. It doesn't matter if you're rich or poor or
male or female.
Right. Or any ethnicity. It doesn't matter. It really affects everybody, young or old. It doesn't matter.
Right.
And that's probably what you see and what the well can be there to help with.
Absolutely.
Doesn't matter. So,
Right.
very good.
And now that you mentioned that part of it, in the recovery community and at the well, we don't discriminate against anybody. Everybody's welcome. We understand that it affects everybody, and we keep politics out of it. We keep sports out of it.
Oh my gosh, that is amazing. Good for you.
We don't affiliate like that because
Sure.
we're all about the person. We
Right.
focus on the recovery,
Right.
and because we also, it's kind of about breaking the chain, the cycle.
Right.
Sometimes generations of families have lived in that for so long that they don't know how. So breaking the chain can be very, very important for people with young kids. I've seen several people. My landlord came in the doors about 10, 12 years ago, homeless with his 2 kids, and worked at Sonic for a while and put himself right here through this college, San Juan College, and now has a good job out at the power plant. Okay, and he was homeless when he walked in the door, and he's my landlord now.
How about that?
Yeah.
Another great story,
Yeah.
right? And
Yeah.
just goes to show. But this can take time, right? I think maybe a lot of folks expect instant results, and addiction is really a nasty thing that it can take a while to break that addiction, that cycle, all those different things, right?
That's important too, because we try to let the newcomer understand. It's like myself. I spent 26 years out there in addiction, and it was going to take more than 2 years to clean it up. And it has. But it's a day-to-day thing, and you clean up one little issue, and then you move on to the next issue, and while you're keeping that first issue clean, and eventually the mountain of crud behind you is a lot smaller.
Right.
And much easier to deal with and manage.
And that's important, again, for the folks who've gone through it, like you and others, to be able to tell these other folks who really want it fixed yesterday that it doesn't work like that, and it takes a little bit of time to be able to move forward.
I myself, at about 2 years clean and sober, wanted to have 5 years, but it wasn't possible.
Right.
It just takes 5 years of experience. 5 years, you know what I'm saying.
Sure.
It takes
But you're
5
still...
years to get 5 years of experience.
That's true. But you're still moving forward.
Yes.
And that's the important lesson, I think.
Yeah, as long as I'm breathing, I'm moving forward.
That's important too.
Yes.
So that's very good. Let me go back to Amanda Evans from the San Juan County Partnership and Chick to talk a little bit about some of these stories that Ron's been sharing with us about what it's like to get over addiction. And this is something the partnership deals with a lot and tries to educate all of us in the community about addiction and how difficult it can be to overcome some of these addictions in the community. And so places like the Well, again, very important to help both the individuals and their families to recognize this.
Yes, the partnership's really about prevention, so we're on the other end. We're trying to get to the youth, to the adults before they start, but you have to have that continuum of care because you do have the people that have already started and the ones in recovery, so you have to have all services for all ages and experiences, and so that's why partnership focuses on one end and the Well focuses on maybe the other end when they're in recovery, so it's really a spectrum of things going on in the community.
Right, but the whole ultimate goal for both of you is to make sure we have a healthier
Yes.
community in the end, and that's really important. And I know the partnership does a great job of reminding all of us about these positive things that are going on in our community and positive outcomes and things along that line too.
Yeah, that's what we found is, we hear enough in different sources in the media, in the, all these other places. We hear all the negative things about our community.
The other media. Let me just stop you for a
well,
moment.
and I was about to say that's why
No,
it's great that we have this kind of radio show here because you're highlighting the positive things going on in the community, and yes, on more of a national level is what I was
Sure.
talking about. But
we understand we get clumped into the media all the time, and that's okay.
I apologize.
No.
I need to find another word to use instead
that's
of that.
an accurate word.
And even just the public, not just the media, I shouldn't say that, but I think even just on a day-to-day basis, there's a lot of negativity in the world. And so you got to focus on, one of the things the partnership focuses on is youth that are doing the right thing, because we have so many community members that think all youth drink, all youth do this, all youth do that. And it's not. We definitely need to worry about the group that is and work with them and make sure the others aren't starting. But there's a lot of kids doing the right things out there and really helping out in the community. And so it's just a spectrum. You have to address it at all different levels.
That's very true. And that's one of the things that I was surprised to learn, that it's not the majority of kids necessarily that are doing these bad things or that are trying drugs and alcohol. It's usually maybe a smaller percentage than you would think. And so that's been very, I think, helpful for me to learn and to be able to share the positive side of that. So yeah, maybe 20%, but then let's talk about the 80% who choose not to do that. And that's what you're talking about.
Yeah, we want to reinforce those that are making good choices and help the ones that maybe haven't and have started already, help them get to places like the Well where they can get some help and get them. So it's not like we want to ignore the ones that have already started or might be starting to make bad choices, but we want to reinforce and say, if you're making good choices, keep making those good ones because you're not alone.
That's very true. That's very true. And Ron, I imagine that's good advice, right? To be able to share with you and the folks who are coming to the Well.
Amanda brought up some good points, and one of the sayings that we have in our fellowship is that we're not bad people trying to get good. We're sick people trying to get well.
Right.
Which speaks to some of the youth issues that you were speaking about, Amanda, that sometimes necessarily the younger generation is getting in trouble is not because they're bad people, it's because they've had bad guidance or don't have good resources or don't know about the good resources. And this is why we have organizations like C.H.I.C here in town.
Very true.
It takes a lot of different organizations sometimes to help an individual or a family. I was involved at PATH for a while, and people don't understand when they show up at the door at PATH, people assisting the homeless, they show up with no ID, with 2 trash bags full of clothes, and that's it.
Right.
So for someone to start over again, it takes a lot of help from the community. And I went through PATH when I first moved here. I stayed there 6 months. Presbyterian or St. John's Episcopal Church helped me for 3 months after that. I got all kinds of help in this town. And I find it to be a very loving, giving town.
Sure. Well, so, and you said it takes time to get back on your feet, certainly.
Right.
And it also takes a lot, I think, to get to that point where you decide you need to get help, to ask for help.
Well, Amanda made another good point about choices.
Right.
It's our choice. And sometimes we don't know how to make the right choice. Other times we just need to practice making the right choice.
Very true. That's very true. Well, we are out of time this morning, everybody, but I can't thank you all enough for coming in to talk with me a little bit about the work that you all are doing in our community. I'll remind our listeners and viewers that it is Giving Tuesday this morning, and I know there are a lot of nonprofits that are looking and asking for your support today. I think all of us in this room could probably fit that category. The San Juan County Partnership, Amanda, I know is a nonprofit organization that relies on donations from the community.
We do.
In addition to grants and things like that. The Well, I know, as we mentioned, Ron Pryor, revolves around donations from members and things like that.
Absolutely, we survive on them.
Right, and this is a listener-supported radio station, so I would invite all of you to maybe give to your charity of choice this morning from this program, and we would appreciate all of your support. But thank you both for coming in. Amanda Evans and Ron Pryor, thanks for being here.
Thanks for having us.
You're very welcome. My guests from the Well and from the San Juan County Partnership and C.H.I.C, the Community Health Improvement Council, here this morning with me on KSJE. I'll be back with more in just a moment, everybody. The time is 8:37.
'Tis the season, you guys, for fast and furious online shopping. It all kicked off with Cyber Monday, but at what cost to the health of warehouse workers? From American Public Media, this is Marketplace Tech, demystifying the digital economy. I'm Jack Stewart in for Molly Wood.
Marketplace Tech is supported by USB technology found in billions of devices. USB Implementers Forum reminds consumers that certified products display USB IF logos.